All right, so the worst apocalypses in anime. Aida's Judgment, I have no idea what it is. This looks like a mech. Centrali bombardment. Incineration of humanity. Is this. No, that's. I'm lost. Alright, let's just see what it is.
Space Runaway Ideon came out in 1980 and was directed by Yoshiyuki Tomino, the same guy who made Gundam. The story centers around a giant combining robot.
Gundam. I don't know Gundam, bro. Cause I don't like mechs. Like as soon as there's robot, I feel like it's not about. What I like about like anime is like see the potential of the characters and all. You know what I'm saying? Like their hidden potential, breaking through their limits. You know what I'm saying? And mechs, it's robots. You're just driving a robot that's slightly more special than the other. I could be very wrong though, cause I don't know a lot about it since I don't watch it. But that's my reason for not really watching mechs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, you got a robot that's more special than the other. You're not that special.
Called the Ideon, but the real main character is the ID, an ancient cosmic consciousness that lives inside the robot. Two civilizations end up fighting over it, humans from Earth and an alien race called the Buff Clan. The catch is that neither side realizes the Ide is watching everything they do and judging them. The series follows an endless cycle of war between these two species. Both sides keep trying to kill each other despite some attempts at peace talks. Throughout the show, Tomino kills off characters from both sides, including children. He doesn't hold back at all. The Ide watches all this violence and becomes more and more disgusted with both humans and the Buff Clan. Eventually, it decides that
if you want to be disappointed, just look at humanity. You'll be more than enough disappointed, bro. I'm just saying,
both civilizations are too violent to exist. In the movie Be Invoked, which serves as the series finale, the Ide makes its final judgment. It unleashes its full power and completely wipes out both species. Every single named character dies. The heroes, the villains, the adults, and the children. Nobody survives. The Buff Clan's homeworld gets destroyed. Earth and all the human colonies across space get wiped out too. The scale of destruction is total extinction for two entire civilizations. The final scenes of the movie show the souls of everyone who died, including the children, floating through space together. There's a suggestion that they might be reborn or reincarnated in some form, but the main message is clear. Violence only leads to extinction. The Ide decided that if these two species couldn't stop killing each other, they didn't deserve to exist. Bokurano starts with 15 kids who sign what they think is a
What is this? Bokurano? Hold on.
Killing each other. They didn't deserve to exist. Bokurano starts with
a mech again? What is going on, bro?
15 kids who sign what they think is a contract for a game. A guy named Kokopelli tells them they'll pilot a giant robot called Zerth and fight enemies. It sounds exciting at first, but Kokopelli is actually the final pilot from a previous universe who's dumping this curse onto them. The contract is a trap they can't escape from. The rules of these battles are designed to be as cruel as possible. When it's time for a battle, one kid gets chosen, a mark appears on their hand, and they know they're next. They have 48 hours to get in the cockpit and start fighting, or Earth starts getting destroyed as punishment. Once they're in, their life force gets drained to power the robot. The pilot always dies after the battle ends, whether they win or lose. They're literally
messed up. That's messed up, bro. Basically, as soon as you're choosing to pilot it, it's a death sentence. And as for the others that are waiting, they're waiting for a death sentence. That's crazy, bro.
fuel. And if they refuse to fight or lose, their entire universe gets erased. But winning isn't better. Every time the kids win a battle and destroy an enemy robot, they also destroy that parallel Earth with billions of people. The anime shows them watching these universes collapse and disappear after they win. The enemy pilots are also kids from those universes fighting for the same reason, to save their world. There's no villain. It's just an impossible choice where someone has to die. The battles themselves wreck Earth even when they win. Cities get destroyed as collateral damage when Zerth moves or fights. Thousands of people die on their own Earth just from the fighting. The military tries to stop Zerth at first because they don't understand what's happening. The government eventually figures it out but can't do anything to help the kids. Each kid gets their own arc before they die. The first pilot, Waku, dies in the first real battle, and that's when everyone realizes this is actually happening. A girl named Kodama uses her battle to hunt down and kill her former teacher, who took advantage of her younger sister before she died. Another kid named Machi deals with her abusive father and tries to protect her siblings before her turn comes. Kanji learns learns his
What
dad is
the
involved
hell?
in corrupt politics and dies with that knowledge. Some kids try to run away,
What?
but they can't escape the contract. One pilot tries to just not fight, but the countdown starts and earthquakes begin destroying cities until he gives in. The series makes it clear that every single one of these kids is trapped.
Who
They can't
wrote
save them.
this, man? That's messed up. Who wrote this? Bro? What is the lesson behind this? Because you know these type of anime usually have some kind of lesson towards it, just like the last one with the idiot or something like that. What is the lesson behind this one, bro? What?
Themselves, and
God
they can't save the
damn.
other universes
What are you
either.
supposed
The
to
really
learn
dark
from
part
this?
is that this has happened before. Their universe has already won 14 battles in previous cycles with different pilots. That means their world
What?
already exists because
Bruh.
14 other universes were destroyed. They're universe number 15 in this chain. Saikano, which stands for She, the Ultimate Weapon, starts with Shuji and Chise as awkward high school students in Hokkaido who just started dating. Their relationship
Oh,
is
wow.
sweet but clumsy. Chise is shy and nervous. Shuji doesn't know
Okay.
how to act around her. Then one day, Shuji sees enemy bombers attack Sapporo. He watches
What?
Chise transform into a weapon. Her body sprouts metal wings, cannons, and guns. She flies up and
Was she a
destroys the
weapon
enemy
from the jump, or did she become a weapon after? I'm confused.
forces, then collapses. That's when he learns the Japanese military surgically modified his girlfriend into the ultimate weapon. Japan is at war,
When did that
though
happen?
the anime never says who the enemy is. The war keeps getting worse throughout the series. More cities get bombed, millions of
What
people
is
die,
happening?
and every time there's an attack, the military forces Chise to fight. She can't control when she transforms. It just happens. Each time she
Damn.
uses her weapon form, she loses a bit more of her humanity. The changes are physical and mental. Her body becomes
that's
harder,
fucked
more
up,
metallic.
man.
She starts forgetting things, memories of her childhood, her feelings, even basic human emotions.
basically
At one
become a-
point, she
a
tells
robot.
Shuji she can't remember what it feels like to be hungry or tired. She's becoming more machine than person.
Yeah,
Shuji
yeah.
watches the girl he loves slowly disappear, and there's nothing he can do about it. Their friends die one by one. Akemi, Shuji's friend who loved him, dies in a bombing.
Oh,
Atsushi,
wow.
another friend, gets killed. The cast gets smaller as the war spreads worldwide. Other countries join in.
What?
Cities across the globe start getting destroyed. Then the nuclear weapons come
Who-
out. The
who is
military keeps
attacking
pushing
who, bro?
Chise to fight bigger battles. She's sent to destroy entire armies and fleets by herself. Her power keeps growing, but she's barely
Wait,
conscious anymore.
Bro,
She doesn't
who is fighting who, bro? Because I was like, okay, is it another country? But then they said other countries got roped in. Like, what is happening, bro? Are they fighting aliens or something? Like,
recognize
what's going
people.
on?
She can't speak properly. In one scene, she tries to hold Shuji's hand but can't figure out how. Her body doesn't work like a human's anymore.
Oh,
By the end of the
shit.
series, the Earth is dead. Every major city has been destroyed. Nuclear weapons have been launched. The anime shows empty
Damn.
streets, burning buildings, and corpses everywhere. Chisa's final battle essentially turns her into a living apocalypse. Her power goes out of control and wipes out what's left of civilization. The
you
final
go.
episode shows Shuji and Chise as the only
There you go.
survivors. They're floating in what looks like a void. It's unclear if it's space, some kind of afterlife, or
This
just
guy-
inside Chise's mind. Chise can barely hold human form anymore. She's mostly
Oh,
weapon now.
wow.
Shuji holds what's left of her as they drift through emptiness. Super Dimension 4
Bro, I'm so confused. Like, who the fuck started a war? First of all. Second of all, when did she become a robot? Was she from the jump, like, they had already started experimenting on her? Or did it happen later on in their story? Lastly, she becomes a robot each and every time she uses her power. And these people didn't think of fixing this. Obviously, as she goes, she was gonna, as a robot, she's gonna think logically. She's not gonna start following orders no more. Then again, she did. But then she ended up destroying everything. Alright, this shit got me confused.
Fortress
Anyway.
Macross starts with humanity making first contact with the Zentradi, a race of giant
is-
alien warriors. The Zentradi were created as proxy
Okay.
soldiers by an ancient civilization
What's up
called
with
the
all the
Proto
mechs, bro? What the hell?
culture and have been fighting for thousands of years. They're giants, about 5 times the size of humans, and they've
What?
never experienced things like music, love, or any form of culture. Their entire existence is just war and following orders. The series follows the
What?
SDF-1 Macross, a rebuilt alien spacecraft that becomes Earth's main defense. Throughout the show, some Zentradi soldiers defect after being exposed to human culture. They hear Lin Min May's songs and experience entertainment for the first time. These things
Okay.
completely shock them because they've never known anything except combat. Characters like Commander Britai and his archivist Exodol start questioning their order.
They become otakus. Is that do they become otakus, bro?
But the Zentradi Supreme Commander Baudelaire sees this cultural contamination as a threat to his entire military force. He decides that humans and any Zentradi exposed to their culture must be completely exterminated.
Bro, you don't have to wage war. There's more to life than fighting. You know what I'm saying? God damn, just try to take it all in, and you know what I'm saying? You're gonna find something way more interesting than risking your life every day.
In episode 27, titled Love Drifts Away, Bodolzer's main fleet arrives at Earth. The fleet consists of over 4.8 million warships. The bombardment happens fast. The Zentradi fleet powers up their weapons and begins firing on Earth from orbit. Whole cities are destroyed in seconds.
Yeah,
the attack shows buildings and entire continents.
4.8 million, that's 4.8 blasters falling down on Earth. That's enough to cover the whole shit, man.
Annihilated by the barrage. Characters on the Macross watch in horror as the planet burns below them. Hikaru Ichijo, the main pilot, sees it happening and thinks about whether his friend Misa survived. Min-Mei wonders if her parents are dead. The scale of destruction is massive. Sources vary on exact numbers, but the bombardment kills the vast majority of Earth's population in minutes. The Alaska military base survives initially because it's deep underground. They fire back with the Grand Cannon, a massive energy weapon that destroys hundreds of thousands of Zentradi ships in one shot. But even that doesn't stop the attack. The Grand Cannon gets
destroyed. They destroyed hundreds of thousands of ships. There's 4.8 million. It didn't do much. It did not do much, bro.
Shortly after firing, Captain Global comes up with a plan to use Min-Mei's music as a psychological weapon.
What? you just heard that while it worked on some of them, the Supreme Commander did not give a shit. Actually, it made shit worse. Don't do this, bro.
Since most of Bodolzer's forces have never encountered culture before, her songs will temporarily shock them and disrupt their chain of command. Min-Mei broadcasts her song Shao Pai Lun across all Zentradi military frequencies, while the Macross and the allied Zentradi forces launch their attack. The strategy works. Enemy Zentradi get distracted by the music and by seeing Min-Mei kiss Kaifun on the broadcast.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
While they're confused, the human and allied Zentradi forces fight through the fleet. The Macross rams straight into Bodolzer's massive mothership and fires all its reaction missiles inside, destroying it and killing Bodolzer. The battle ends with Earth as a scorched wasteland. Episode 28 jumps forward 2 years. Hikaru flies over the devastated surface and finds a field of flowers growing, the first sign of life returning. The Macross has landed in a lake, and survivors have built a new city called Macross City around it. Humans and the allied Zentradi work together to rebuild civilization from almost nothing. Texanlize is set in Lux.
That was not bad. The last one we saw were all extinction over, nothing left. At least this one we rebuilt from shit.
An underground city built beneath the surface world. The city is divided between different power groups.
Why?
Yakuza gangs called the Organo, a religious cult called the Salvation Union, and the ruling class who live on a higher level. People in Lux can get Texanlize, which are cybernetic prosthetic limbs that replace lost body parts. The procedure is painful, and the limbs need constant maintenance, but they're stronger than normal limbs. The main character, Ichise, is a fighter who loses his arm and leg. He gets Texanalized and survives, but he's basically a dead man walking. He has no real purpose. Throughout the series...
Yeah, if he was fighting before, he can't fight no more. Which means that if fighting was his purpose before, then he lost his purpose to live. Yeah. No shit.
Gang wars break out between the factions. A man named Kano shows up from the surface and starts manipulating events. He wants to force everyone in Lux to get Texanalized as a form of evolution for humanity. The violence keeps escalating. The Organo and Salvation Union go to war. People die in huge numbers. Lux tears itself apart from the inside. Every character Ichise forms any connection with either dies or leaves. The underground city is falling apart and there's no way to stop it. Eventually, some characters manage
this man got riddled with bullets, bro.
To reach the surface world. This is supposed to be humanity's hope, the world above where things might be better. But what they find is way worse than the war in Lux. The surface isn't destroyed or ruined, it's just empty. There are still humans up there, but they've completely given up. The surface humans don't reproduce anymore. They don't fight, they barely talk to each other. They just exist, waiting to die. They haven't been attacked or forced into this. They've simply lost all will to continue as a species. They're conscious and...
What the fuck happened? There's gotta be something to... You know, to trigger this. There's no way they just lived and said, "Alright, I'm done, bro." Like, that doesn't make sense, bro. What the hell?
Aware, but they've collectively decided there's no point in going on. It's not a violent apocalypse. It's humanity peacefully choosing extinction. This revelation destroys any hope the characters had. Lux is dying from war, and the surface is dying from apathy. There's nowhere to go and nothing to fight for. The class, who've been watching over Lux, reveal they already knew about the surface. They were just observing humanity's end in the underground as a kind of experiment. By the final episode, Lux has been destroyed by the gang wars. Almost everyone is dead. Ichise is one of the last people alive, and he's badly injured. He climbs up to the surface and just sits there.
At this point, is there really a point in trying to survive this? Is there really a point? I don't know. Personally, I'd be like, all right, man, I'm done. What do you want me to do? I ain't no fucking superhero. I'm done.
The show ends with him alone, slowly dying as the sun sets. There's no explosion, no dramatic final battle, no last-minute hope, just silence. Fate, Grand Order, starts with Chaldea Security...
Oh, Fate. I thought it was Fire Force, instantaneous combustion. Fate. I don't know. Fate, bro. Fate got me so confused.
Organization, man. A group that monitors human history for problems.
Because Fate is got too much series, bro. Like, god damn, and they're not in order. And then there's like alternate endings, alternate timelines. That shit got me so confused. I watched Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Fate Apocrypha, and after that, I gave up. I couldn't understand what was going on.
In 2016, they detect something catastrophic. Humanity is going to be completely erased from existence. The cause is singularities appearing at different points throughout history, distorting events and creating alternate timelines. Behind all of this is Goetia, who calls himself the king of demon gods. Goetia is actually the collective consciousness of Solomon's 72 demon gods.
Because Ars Goya is the book where they all got sealed inside. Got it.
Solomon
originally
created these demons as a system to help humanity after his death. They were supposed to watch over and guide people. But after
demons don't be helping.
Solomon died, the demons merged together inside his corpse and became Goetia. They spent 3,000 years observing humanity through Solomon's clairvoyance ability, which let them see all of human history, past, present, and future. What they saw disgusted them. Goetia
exactly, that's why I said it's not good. It's not good, bro. Human history is disgusting. I'm just...
watched humanity's endless cycle of suffering, wars, deaths, and misery. They concluded that human existence was fundamentally broken because of death. The fear and certainty of death is what makes humans suffer. So Goetia came up with a
I don't know. I wouldn't exactly say death. This might be one of the things, but I'd say greed would be the biggest thing. I don't know.
Plan to fix it, destroy humanity completely, and recreate the entire planet without death existing at all. The plan is called the Human Order.
They want to do what Shinra did.
For incineration. Goetia created 7 singularities at key points in human history. These distortions allowed them to literally burn humanity across 3,000 years of history.
Time.
Every person who ever lived becomes fuel. The incineration doesn't just kill people in 2016. It erases humans from every point in time simultaneously.
Even
past,
the future.
Present, and future all burn together. The energy collected from burning 3,000 years of human civilization is enormous. Goetia's ultimate weapon, Ars Almadel Salomonis, appears as a massive ring of light surrounding Earth. It fires hundreds of millions of beams, each one as powerful as the legendary sword Excalibur. These beams travel through time itself.
What the fuck does Excalibur got to do with this?
Scorching the planet's surface across all eras at once. The heat produced is stated to be beyond anything that exists on Earth, but destroying humanity isn't even the final goal. Goetia plans to use all that collected...
he plans to recreate the whole thing, but with death not being there? Something like that.
Energy to travel back 4.6 billion years to when Earth was first formed. At that point, they'll absorb the energy and recreate the entire planet from scratch. This new world will have a perfect species that doesn't experience death. Goetia sees themselves as...
if you really want to do that, bro, I don't think death is not the biggest problem here. I'm not... When it comes to human, that is not the biggest problem. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think death make us act the way we mostly do. I'd say greed, judgment, selfishness. I can add more.
Creating a better version of humanity. When the incineration activates, 2016 becomes the endpoint. Nothing exists beyond that year. Human history just stops. Cities vanish. Civilizations disappear. Every human who ever lived across thousands of years gets erased as fuel for Goetia's plan. Only Chaldea survives because they're protected in a special space outside normal time. The protagonists Ritsuka Fujimaru and Mash Kairi Light travel through the singularities.
Mash Kairi Light? Who the hell is that supposed to be? Because Fate was about Master, servants, and magic. What's going on? Because I don't recognize none of these people. Servants are people from either the past, mostly from the past, or from the future. In case of Emiya, that will turn into a heroic spirit later on in the series. This person, who the fuck is she? I don't think neither of them are heroic spirits, right? All right.
Trying to fix history before Goetia can complete the plan. Every singularity they fix is a piece of human history they save from being burned.
Noble Phantasm are the weapons, the special techniques. I don't remember, bro. It was one of the two. But from the looks of it, Mash, the girl that dashed, was the heroic spirits. Or what's going on? I'm confused.
If you like this video,
I'm confused, bro, because why? I don't know, bro. It's I don't know. Cause in Fate Stay Night, it was about magic and servants and their masters, right? Amiya that becomes Archer later on in the story, the black-haired girl, and then there's Fate Zero with the other black dude and Gilgamesh and all of that. The black-haired dude, not the black dude, but the black-haired guy with the guns and knives and things like that. I don't. That shit got me confused, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm seriously confused.